So over this past Christmas season, my Instagram feed has been flooded with ads from this company that makes a lens cap that takes your digital camera and gives it the look of a film camera, a disposable film camera. Now that sounded really interesting to me, and I was thinking about buying one, but I also thought, what if I could make my own? I have a 3D printer. I just found a file on printables. It's a lens cap for EOS R bodies, and my wife just picked me up a disposable camera at the drugstore. So I'm gonna see if I can take this thing apart, drill a hole in here, and then maybe hot glue it together and see if it works. How do we get into this thing? Oh, so this is gonna come off. See a little seam right here. Oh, that film's ruined, but I don't really care. Film people are crying right now. That's so cool. There's little clips right here. Oh, this might be easier than I thought it would be. Look at that. And there's the lens. Oh, I found some screws. We have a little tiny Phillips screw here and a little Phillips screw there. I also need to be a little bit careful because there's some type of a capacitor in here or something, so I don't want to get a little shock. Dig in the old EDC toolkit. Just like that, the lens comes off. That was too easy. Look at that. Easy peasy, pumpkin sneezy. Set this aside. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim out, just cut with some heavy duty snips all around here, and I'm gonna leave a little bit of this on here, almost like a flange. Let's see if we can do this without breaking it. Oh yeah. Easy. There. Now, a couple ways we could put a hole in here. We could use a center finder. You could just measure it out. I'm actually gonna put this in my metal lathe. First, we gotta measure this hole. Here's something I 3D printed. It's called an engineer's tray. I'm not an engineer, but I like this idea. Let's see, I wonder if that's a metric size. 16 millimeter exactly, or 0.629 inches. So if we go to our chart, 0.629, 0.625 is 5/8. So if we drilled that out to 5/8, it'd be a little tight, but it might just work. 0.63. We're gonna try it. We're gonna drill this thing out to 5/8. Can't grab it too hard because I don't wanna crack that. That's just PLA. It's gonna get a little bit loud now because I gotta turn on the 3-phase inverter. Okay. See how this thing turned out. Not too bad. Now we'll see how it fits in there. I'm gonna deburr this real quick. Take my deburring tool. Interesting drilling through layers like that. Oh, it's just a perfect fit. Look at that. I was going to hot glue it, but I honestly don't even know if I need to. If this works, I'm gonna be blown away. Well, there's only one way to find out. Here goes. It's a little tricky finding which way it actually fits in here. There it is. Okay, let's, moment of truth, let's see what happens. Oh my word. You can see through it. That is nuts. It actually works. Will it let me take a photo? Oh I gotta see, it's not letting me take a photo. How do I bypass that? Let me just bring this over here. I'll show you how to set it up. With the Canon, you're gonna go to your menu, you're gonna go all the way over to the custom functions. And with this particular model, it is the number 5. And you wanna go to this release shutter without lens. Default is usually off, but you wanna turn that on. And now look at this. Check that out. I can't even believe that worked. That is so cool. Now, unfortunately, these things aren't cheap. I would try to get a free one if you could. If you go to Film Development Lab, I think they just throw these cases away, maybe thrift shops or something like that. But my wife picked this up for me. It was like $27 Canadian. I think this is cool. Now, unfortunately, it is pretty much dark out. Like it's 5 o'clock and it's dark here in Southern Alberta this time of year. I'm gonna take this out tomorrow and get some images. Also gonna shoot a couple things around the house. And I'm gonna shoot a couple tonight too, and I'll show you what these things look like. With that nice press fit, I mean, I am so stoked. I am going to hot glue that in place though, so. Look at that. This probably cost me, this cap, I don't know, how was that cost? Like 20 cents, 30 cents to print this. And this is cool. This is definitely way cheaper than buying one. Having said that, if you don't have access to machines, I mean, this is really, you need a 5/8 drill bit for this particular model. Let me just see if it works in video mode. Oh, dude, we're taking footage. Super retro footage. Like, look at that. That is crazy. This might be my new vlog camera. Well, that was kind of interesting. I think this thing's really good if your subject is within like 3 feet. Anything in the distance is just completely blurred, like unrecognizable. And I'd also like to try this out in sunlight conditions. The boys and I went this morning to the passport office and it was snowy and overcast, so we're kind of stuck with that. But I'm really interested to try this thing, especially summertime. I think this could have some really good summertime vibes, but I can't say at all how this would relate to actually buying one from a company that makes these. And also thinking about things like how far this lens sticks out. Maybe I can experiment a little bit with that, but I think this is actually kind of a fun little toy. This obviously, I mean, you've got an ESR body right here. I've got some really nice glass. This is something totally different than that. This is just kind of a little bit more fun approach to messing around with photography, and actually kind of got me really excited. I spent like quite a while last night doing long shutter, like 16-second shots, trying to get some lights of the traffic driving by on the highway. This was cool. I'm definitely glad I did this, and I'm going to be using it more in the future. And I think this is kind of neat. What do you guys think? Have you ever tried one of these or thought about that? If you're curious, making one yourself is not that difficult at all. Sure, Thingiverse or Printables has files for almost any body. Rather than buying a cap, just print your own if you have a 3D printer, and boom, drill a hole, put a lens in it, and you've got something kind of interesting. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a fantastic day. Cheers.